Right, hello everyone. These are my predictions for UFC Azerbaijan in Baku. So the first fight's Hamdi Abdelwahab versus Mo Usman. I'd go Hamdi Abdelwahab. Um, I wouldn't pick a method of victory. I feel like this could easily be a boring heavyweight decision fest. Um, just like how Waldo Cortez Costa and Sergey Spivak, had it the other week, and I thought Spivak won that. I was surprised when they gave it to Cortez Acosta, but anyway, that's for another video. But yeah, take Hamdi Abdel Wahab if you're betting. Personally, I wouldn't bet on this fight just because it's heavyweight, it's unpredictable. They've both got knockout power in their hands, obviously. But I do think Abdel Wahab gets it done. Mo Usman's on a two-fight losing skid, and I know sometimes that doesn't mean a lot, especially because his brother Kamaru Usman was on a three-fight skid, and he's just come back and beat Buckley. But Mo Usman is not Kamaru Usman, and he doesn't have the striking to keep up with Abdel Wahab. Mo Usman gets hit pretty easy, and yeah, I think he's either going to get peppered to a decision, or obviously, there's a chance they could knock each other out. Personally, I wouldn't bet on this fight, but if you are betting, take the Hamdi Abdel Wahab money line. All right, the second fight of the night after that is Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maksum. Azat Maksum is coming in on short notice against Tagir. Tagir Ulanbekov, like this guy's a wrestling beast. I've a pretty good feeling that this is going to be a pretty heavy lay and pray kind of performance from Tagir Ulanbekov. Especially with his opponent coming off short notice. Maksum, I believe, is 1-1 in the UFC, but he's from Kazakhstan, so he's got some dog in him. But yeah, I mean, these guys, flyweight's already a pretty shallow division. So I think this was a good matchup between these two blokes, but I think Tagir's going to take this, especially because Azat Maksum's coming off short notice, and Tagir's just got the wrestling. He has like a Khabib-like smothering style, and obviously he's not as dominant, but I do feel he gets the job done. I would take Tagir Ulanbekov, and I would bet on the fight to go to decision, or at least past 1.5 rounds or something like that. Whatever the prop is on you're betting at. Irina Alexeyeva versus Claudia Segula. Honestly, I haven't studied this fight. The only WMMA things I really bet on are the top 5 fights, or ranked fights, not even ranked fights really, contender fights, or title fights. I bet Shevchenko to beat Manon Fiorot a couple pay-per-views ago by decision, and that cashed. So that was unreal. But I also had Bilal, and Bilal, wanted to show everyone his Canelo hands, and yeah, lost the belt and lost my money. All right, Oban Elliott versus Sokyom Ko. Look, man, Oban Elliott is a heavy favorite. Yeah, don't bet on Sokyom Ko. I watched Oban Elliott fight. I believe it was last year. He knocked out, or I think it was a TKO against Basil Hafez, and Hafez actually looked alright in that fight too. But Oban Elliott was just on another level. He was piecing him up, rocking him, and then eventually dropped him to go for the finish. I thought he was going to win by decision, just based on the flow of the fight, but he ended up finishing him, which was nice to see. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Take the Oban Elliott money line, and if you like, bet on him at double chance for TKO or points, because I could see this going to decision, but he'll probably finish him more likely than not. If I look on my phone here, I've multied Oban Elliott to win, and sorry, I've multied him by TKO or on points with Tagir Ulanbekov to win, and Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maksum to go the distance. That's paying $2.70 to 1. All right. So take Oban Elliott by points or by TKO. KO doesn't matter. He's gonna win that though. Ismail Naurdiev versus Junyong Park. Look, I don't know too much about both of these fighters, but I know Park's like a pretty active fighter. He's got a good gas tank, and he's pretty mobile. Naurdiev, let's see here. Naurdiev is coming off a decision over Bruno Silva. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, well, that's not really saying much. I mean, Bruno Silva's just a husk of himself. I mean, did anyone see that Marc-Andre Barriot for KO? First round knockout? One of my mates was telling me Bruno Silva was going to win that fight. And I was like, no, he's not, bro. Like, he's just not. And sure enough, he got carried out on a stretcher and he was hospitalized, and that's pretty fucked. But yeah, so a win over Bruno Silva really doesn't mean much, I'd say. Whereas Junyoung Park, he took Brad Tavares to a split decision. And it was a pretty fun fight, pretty close fight. But I feel like his activity, his momentum right now is riding a bit better than Naurdiev, and yeah, I think it's just gonna be hard for Naurdiev to hit him. He might land a counter here or there, but I've got Park in this one. I would take it. I would take the Park money line, but I wouldn't bet on the outcome. And like I said, I haven't studied these two fighters that much at all. This is just based on what I know and what I have read. Okay, next fight, Naimov versus Grad. I'm going to take Naimov in this one. He looked pretty good in um, the UD he had over, who was it? It was some guy. He came off the Ultimate Fighter. But Grad has also come off like a pretty big fight. It was a war with someone. Aswell, Michael Aswell. Yeah, here it is, Michael Aswell. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty nice fight, I think. And they're both pretty well rounded. I'd give the grappling edge to Naimov, but Grad's a marauder on the feet, man. He's a pretty chaotic fighter. Um, Naimov lands a lot less significant strikes per minute, but that being said, Grad also absorbs more significant strikes per minute. So that's the play. That's the way he fights. Give some, take some. Whereas Naimov, I feel like he fights a bit smarter, a bit less chaotic. He's not looking, for the big knockout shot every time. He's fine with coasting to a decision, and he likes a smart fight. I would take Naimov here. Um, I think the path to victory for him would be wrestling. Like I said, they're both pretty well rounded, but Naimov does have the grappling edge. So if he can take him down and hold him there through all 3 rounds, it's gonna be a snooze fest. But um, it's gonna be a win. So I would take Naimov, and I would also bet on this fight to go over 1.5 rounds, just because I feel like Naimov's path to victory will come through a decision. And yeah, if it doesn't, I still feel like the fight's going to go over 1.5 rounds. Even if Naimov gets finished, I don't believe that it'll be past 1.5 rounds. Sorry, before 1.5 rounds has finished. Next fight, Nazim Sadykhov versus Nicholas Motta. Okay, Sadykhov is a real big favourite here. Here we go. He's had a couple doctor's stoppages. He's got really good elbows. He causes lots of damage. He's a vicious man. Motta is coming off a decision, and he's on a 2-fight winning streak. I think he TKO'd someone or KO'd someone before that. So he's got hands. He can knock people out. But Sadykhov's just a little different. He's another level of fighter, I feel, than Motta. And Sadykhov, he's trained with Aljo, Marab, those kind of guys, right? So I feel like he's really elevated his game. His jiu-jitsu's fucking outstanding. He trains in New Jersey, I think, at a prestigious gym there. But yeah, his jiu-jitsu is just pretty crazy. So I think even if the fight goes to the ground, he's going to feel pretty in his element. I think he's going to feel in his element wherever the fight goes. I think he's going to control the fight pretty well. I would take Sadykhov. And I would also bet on this fight to go over 1.5 rounds. I think Sadykhov gets the job done, probably by decision. This could be a grapple fest, but from Sadykhov. But I feel like if the fight is kept standing, he's also got he's got a pretty good chance of controlling the fight. All right, Musayev versus Orolbai. Okay, You know we're going with my boy Miktabek Orolbai. Driptabek Orolbai, mate. Have you? He's gonna come out with that hat post interview. He's gonna put it on Joe Rogan. I can already see it. Bet on Miktabek Orolbai. Um, yeah, he's coming off a loss, a decision loss, but this guy's just fucking unreal. In terms of like just violence and chaos. I don't feel like he's gonna lose to Musayev. I don't think he's gonna lose to like some unranked lightweight that's coming in from Risen. You know, like from Risen. You know, and yeah, I get it. He was a risen champion, this Musayev guy. But Orolbai is just, he's a marauder, man. He's a marauder. He's going to get this done. Don't you worry about that. So bet on Drip to Beck Orolbai. You could go by TKO if you're feeling a little saucy. I'd go double chance Orolbai TKO or decision. A lot of people saying Musayev's going to win this. Fuck him, man. Orolbai's got this. Miktabek Orolbai, remember the name. Next fight, Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. Whew. All right. Curtis Blaydes is gonna he's gonna fraud check this Russian guy. Hey, look, Rizvan Kuniev, he's like what? Prior to that, here we go. Kuniev has fought in PFL and Eagle FC, where he was heavyweight champ. Fuck all that means. I mean, Eagle FC, what even is that? You know, I know what PFL is, but come on, like any top five, maybe no, not top 10. Any top five heavyweight could be a PFL champ for sure. Aspinall, definitely. Garn for sure. Obviously John Jones. Blaydes could be a top. You know, he could be a heavyweight champ. Volkov could be a champ. I feel like Pavlovich could be as well if he fought a little smarter and stopped looking for that KO shot. So yeah, I don't feel like that means much at all. And even though Blaydes obviously is coming off that Aspinall TKO loss, you know, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that fight kind of just it's a little weird. Like yeah, Aspinall like knocked him down and like was TKOing him. That was fucking crazy. But I don't know. I just feel like that fight could have been so much more. You know, I feel like Blaydes is really on that level, and he didn't get to showcase it. I've got Curtis Blaydes. You pick whatever outcome you like. I don't think he's going to sub him. Now I did say that about Marab. I had this big parlay for Marab versus Sean, and all hit. But I had Marab by KO TKO or points, and he fucking subbed him. Oh man, I didn't think he was gonna do that. When Sean tapped, I was like in disbelief. I should have just went Marab. So I'm not gonna, I would probably say it's gonna be by points, or maybe TKO like he did to Jailton Almeida when he just hammer fisted his head in. But I mean, yeah, everyone's got submissions. I would if Curtis Blaydes pulls one out of his ass, could fuck your multi over. So I'd just go Curtis Blaydes money line. Fiziev versus Bahamondes. Bahamondes is the favourite now. I've got Fiziev. I think Fiziev's going to show him levels. Bahamondes, what? Just recently triangled Jalen Turner. Fiziev's got this, man. Fiziev's on a 3-fight losing skid, granted. I think that's twice to Gaethje he's lost by points. And then, who was... Oh, it was Gamrot. Gamrot beat him by like a leg kick. And that put Fiziev out for a while. But I feel like Fiziev is just on a different level. He's hung out with like the big dogs in the division. I feel like Bahamondes just hasn't got that step up in competition yet. Like Jalen Turner is, a phenomenal fighter. He's retired now though, and he was on a skid after that. Like when he fought Bahamondes, and like retirement was already on his mind and everything. I just, it's not that convincing of a win to me. I think Fiziev's going to get this done. He's the underdog. Bahamondes has a pretty good reach. He's a pretty good striker. But, if you're striking with Fiziev, I'm taking Fiziev, His Muay Thai is just, it's exceptional. I don't think there's going to be any takedown shot this fight. If there is, it's going to come from Bahamondes' side after Fiziev's piecing him up. I would take, this is my bet. I've got Fiziev to win and the fight to start round 2. And that's paying $2.40 to 1. $2.40 to 1. Yeah, it'll go past round 1. And I've got Fiziev to win this. It's just he's just fought high level competition. I believe he is high level competition. His striking's just so underrated. And Bahamondes is a great prospect, and I feel like if he loses this, he's gonna bounce back and get extremely better, and be able to hang with top dogs because he's just fought one. But I feel like this could be a Poirier BSD kind of thing, where it's just too early in the jumping competition. And here we go. Jamal Hill versus Rountree. This is fucking like it's neck and neck. On Sportsbet, it's $1.92, $1.92. It's a pick 'em fight. Um, so I've got. I mean, bro, I. It's just like both these guys could knock each other. I wouldn't be surprised if they both knocked each other at the same time. Like I, it's hard for me to pick a winner here, man. But I have picked a winner. Um, my bet is, this is paying $3.75 to one on Sportsbet. The fight will end in a KO/TKO. It will go over 2.5 rounds, and it will not go the distance. I don't. The not go the distance won't doesn't really matter much because it's pretty much the same as the fight's going to end in TKO, right? But I needed that third bet to make a multi on Sportsbet and get um, the multi money. So yeah, pretty much the fight. It's not going to go the distance. I'll be very surprised if this goes to decision. A lot of people are surprised Usman versus Buckley went to decision, but you look at Usman's fights. Like yeah, he finished Burns, Masvidal, but his decision to Colby. Decision versus Edwards. He's been going to decision a lot throughout his career, so I wasn't that surprised. I thought the only way they wouldn't go to decision was from a Joaquin Buckley knockout, which I didn't bet on, which is nice because everyone else did. So yeah, Rountree versus Hill is not going to go the distance. There's a cheeky bet on Sportsbet. Jamal Hill by KO/TKO in rounds 3, 4, or 5. It's paying 725 to one. I feel like that's fucking good odds. Like that could definitely happen. Like, come on, that could so happen. So if you want to make a cheeky bit of money before the fight, maybe bet on that. But the official prediction for this is the fight will end in a stoppage, like KO TKO, and it'll go over 2.5 rounds. I have picked a winner, but I have not bet on it because, like, I'm just not confident enough. I think Hill's going to get it done. Hill's coming off yet two losses, two knockout losses, or TKO losses, but look, it was against the two top dogs of the division. A lot of people are saying his chin might be a little suspect after that. I don't think so. I think Hill's got something to prove, and I think he's going to show it. Rountree's biggest step up in competition has been Alex. That's the best guy he's fought, and obviously that's the top of the division, yeah? And it was a fucking great fight. Whereas Hill got TKO'd in one, right? So you're like, why are you picking Hill? I feel like Hill's just going to have a bit better striking. I think he's got better boxing. Rountree's got better Muay Thai. So Rantry's going to be kicking him a lot more, utilizing those kicks, body kicks, you know, keeping the gut of Jamal Hill. But Jamal Hill is, I think he's just going to, he rocked Yuri in that second fight. And he was turning the tide. That was Jamal Hill versus Yuri. That was a great fight. So I think Jamal Hill gets it done against Rountree. But if Rountree wins, I'm not like going to be what the fuck, because it's a pick'em fight. I feel like Rountree could win for sure, but I think Hill just has that championship caliber edge, and I think he's gonna beat Rountree for sure. And obviously, I mean, they could even be a decision somewhere in here, but come on, man, can you even imagine this fight going to decision? I can't. Um, so those are my official picks for the card. One multi that I've made that is like my multi that's supposed to be a lock. Oben Elliott, Muhammad Naimov, Nazim Sadykhov, and Curtis Blaydes. Those four guys to win. And it's paying $2.71 to one. Look, 2 to 1 odds are good. $2.71 to one is good. I don't make crazy shit like 5 to 1. I used to. But the likelihood of that hitting just is pretty low. So bet smart. Bet smart. If you're gonna gamble, gamble smart. So those are my official picks. Yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, back me if you'd like, or don't. Pick Rountree, pick whoever, pick Bahamondes. Um, and yeah, we'll see who's right. And I'll address that in the next video. Thanks for watching.